somewhere in the middle of southern Missouri. I'm between Illinois and Springfield, Missouri, headed to my mom's house. Spend a couple of days at mom's house, get some mom time in, and then I'm headed off to pick up some coins. I've already got a number of them. There's already a pretty good little load back there, as you can see. So that's what I've got going on. Hey, Coin Junkie, how you doing, brother? Got a lot of things going on here, I guess. Been doing a lot of thinking about business and how things are and how things are going and how things are going to go. It's been pretty much hot as hell up here. I've been here for, it's been almost a week, I guess. Here, there, and everywhere. Hello, Tyler. Hello, Dennis. Let's see, how long have I been up here? I guess I came up here on Monday. So, what is today? I don't even know what today is. Today is Monday, so I've been up for a week. You'll come along? Well, unfortunately, Toronto is a bit of a drive, and I don't have my passport with me, and I think I still need a passport to go into Canada. I would love to come up there and pick you up and take you for a drive. That'd be wonderful. It wouldn't be near so hot as it is here. Our expected high temperature in Springfield, Missouri today is 99 Fahrenheit. So that's what, about 38, roughly 38 degrees, I guess, Celsius. Today is Tuesday, and I left on Tuesday. That's correct. I knew it had been a week. I just didn't know what day of the week it was. Went to the Missouri Numismatic Association show, the MNA, and it was a pretty decent show for dealer show up. It was pretty decent for the amount of inventory that was there to be picked through. But the public didn't show up quite as expected. It was a rather bit of a drag on Friday, and then Saturday it was kind of a drag in the morning time. We thought it wasn't even going to pick up, but it started picking up just after a lot of the major dealers left. So, of course, they got what they wanted to go there for. They got to meet their other dealers and do a bunch of wholesale dealing on Wednesday and Thursday. But by the time Saturday came around, they were kind of done. Oh, you like my Pink Floyd shirt? Thank you. And we kind of decided, well, we're going to stick around and just see what happens. And oddly enough, of course, I wasn't dealing anything there. I was there with Robbie. And Robbie made a pretty good chunk of change on Saturday just because he waited everything out and actually had some foot traffic come by the table. Other than that, it was a rather uneventful show. We had, I'm going to say probably somewhere around the tune of 100 to 200 people come by the table. You would expect at a major regional show like that you would have more like 500 to 1,000, if not more, and probably 1,000 to 2,000 in attendance, but that just didn't happen. We went back to Illinois, and we did a little bit of work and went up to visit a license plate guy that I know, and know him from online. We went up to Springfield, Illinois to visit with him. Really nice guy, Terry Pete. Picked up some things that I wanted or needed for my little mini serial license plate collection. I have a lot of fun with that. It's something more colorful than coins, and it's just very not boring. It's interesting and fun to me. I just enjoy collecting the little plates and seeing if I can get a full set, things like that. It's kind of like being a kid again. I just enjoy it. And so we came back on Sunday evening back to Robbie's place, got up Monday, went to work. I worked all day in the shop yesterday and had a good little bit of fun. There were a couple of prepper type people who thought that basically things are going to go to anarchy this evening. So they were in there and they bought all the silver Robbie had. Had one of his best days in a couple of months, but the cash came in just a little bit late because he could have used it to pick up inventory at the show, but of course that didn't happen. But I don't know if hello Arizona Coins. I don't know if what they say is true or not. Of course, time hasn't come yet, but there's some I don't know, some prepper thing going around. I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody else knows about how the government, or not the government, but the military is going to turn on the emergency broadcast system at about 9 p.m. Central Time tonight, and that it was going to go until 11 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Your cell phones wouldn't work for at least a period of 3 hours, and blah, 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 blah. But anyhow, it was, I guess, an attempt to overthrow the deep state for the people who believe in that sort of thing. I don't, so I'm completely unexcited about the whole thing, but Robbie sure sold some silver yesterday. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Coin cards. I showed my coin cards around to a few people and talked to a few other people. It looks like the project is well underway. As soon as I get back home, I'm going to start working on getting the printer prepared and start working on getting myself into a position to be able to submit the cards to the print shop to get them printed. I have spoken with a few of the who's who greats of modern die varieties, such as Larry Briggs, Brian Raines, and a few other people who have graciously offered to participate in the coin card, the coin card project. And that if you hear that buzzing, it means I'm driving over the stripe on the side of the road. It's not a big deal. It just means I'm about to run off the road. No big deal. But we are well on our way to getting signature cards done. So signature cards will be actual autographed cards. That will be personally autographed cards by some of the people who have helped build the die variety industry over the years and who have been friends or mentors of mine through my experience in getting to where I am in coins. And it means a lot to me that they are willing to step forward and do some autographs for some very, very limited cards that I will be including in the packs of cards, of coin cards. And showed some of the coin cards around to people, some of the people that I know and some people that I don't know. And as it seems, the cards are nothing but popular. I sent some out last week in the mail to a bunch of people, and I'm sure many of you have received one. And it's a prototype card, so handle with care, because by the time you guys see another card, they'll be regular production run cards, and they will be printed on different stock. They're a little bit thicker. But that's that's what I've got for now. I haven't done any on-the-road videos before now because I've typically been with Robbie most of the time that I've been out and about. This past week, I'm by myself now driving through Missouri, so I decided that I would hit you guys up and see what's going on. If anybody knows anything, if anybody has any questions, if anybody has any comments, this is the time. We're just kind of hanging out. I don't really have anything to teach you about or talk about necessarily. Picked up a whole bunch of rolls, a whole bunch of boxes full of rolls, and I'll be breaking all that down once I get home. I have a few more boxes to pick up before I head back, and once I get back, we're going to be doing a lot of breaking down, organizing, and selling. The show that I was at was the Missouri Numismatic, MNS, I think it is, Missouri Numismatic Society. Was the basically the state show in St. Charles, Missouri. That's just east of St. Louis, or just west, I'm sorry, of St. Louis, just across the Missouri River from St. Louis. It was a very hot weather event. We had a lot of really hot weather. And then just the other night, we had some pretty big storms move through. That was Saturday evening. We had some heavy storms move through. Cooled everything down for a couple of days. But now, of course, we're getting really hot again. And as you and it looks like about 80 degrees, but I don't think that's correct. I think my outside thermometer is covered up or messed up or something. For those of you who want to plot exactly where I am and follow me on my road trip, I am on US Highway 60 going west toward Mount Vernon, Missouri. Is that Mount Vernon? I'm not sure whether it's Mount Vernon or not. I can't remember the name of the town. Well, past Poplar Bluff. I'm on a section. The first time I remember driving this section of highway, it was a really curvy 2-lane highway. Excuse me. I could feel that coming. That's why I was trying to block it. But I'm going to make some changes to some of the ways I do things when I get back to North Carolina. One being that I'm going to work on trying to prepare my shows a few more days earlier than I have been, so I can the old hotel, no, it was in the convention center. There's not an old hotel across the truss bridge, the dual truss bridge of I-70, Interstate 70, going across from St. Louis into St. Charles. As soon as you cross the bridge, on your right is an Ameristar casino. The exit following that is the exit that you go, and you go over the bridge and you're at the convention center. That's where the show was. Pretty large convention center called the St. Charles Convention Center. Farm Dog actually works with the Coin Club that worked and set up and tore down the show. So Farm Dog was there. Coins and Ghouls was there. Those are the only two people from, our Coppercoins family that I remember seeing there. Looking for JJ Addict. He lives in Springfield, so I'm going to be looking for him while I'm in Springfield. Family's going to have a get-together dinner tomorrow, I guess, to celebrate my brief arrival. And I guess that's about that. Stop the car on the side of the road here. It's a truck. Looks like they're doing fine. But the stuff I've picked up, you see boxes of pennies back there. Lots of boxes, lots of other stuff. If you look around my pillow, I carry my own pillow with me when I travel just in case. The just in case is just in case the pillow that I happen to be sleeping on is not good enough for my neck. So I use my own pillow if I have to. Let's see. What else has happened? Nothing specific. Today's my birthday. So we had a little birthday dinner last night, and I got got to spend time with friends. Today, I'll be at my mom's house, so I want to see my mother on my birthday for the first time in it's been at least 5 or 10 years. I guess nothing else. Cajun! Thank you, sir. Thank you, Crispy. I'm wanting to see you guys more often. I miss a lot of the people that I've become familiar with and have become friends with over the years, and it seems like one after the other I don't see people anymore, and then all of a sudden you show up here. How about that? Let's see. Kind of tough to really think through anything and actually have a lot to say. I worked on coins yesterday. I spent the entire day going through coins and putting them in 2x2s for Robbie and marking them for sale. He gets so much stuff in. He's kind of like me. He works by himself and he gets so much stuff and he can't ever catch up. It's always a good thing to fiddle to him and help him out with everything yesterday and today. Oh, 55, DDO number 2. Just calling it the poor man's double die. Got it for $5. Holy moly, that deserves a "you suck." That's what that deserves. If that's what it is. Man, I tell you what, I've been through a lot of coins in my lifetime. I've only found 2 of those. I sold one of them, and then the other one I still have, and I should have kept one of the BU coins that Bill Fivas sold to me a long time ago. But I sold both of those because I needed the money at the time. But I've only seen a handful of those ever. So you're not going to see those very often, that's for sure. But got to meet up with some of them through this experience. Let's see. The highlights of what I have picked up are really not very highlighting. I picked up about 10, 12, $25 boxes of pennies, but I think most of them are 2009. There are some older rolls. There's a few older rolls that I'm going to be interested in piling into. One of them is a Batdorf wrapped roll of 1943 Lincoln cents that are BU. So I, of course, have no idea if this Batdorf roll is an originally sound roll, because 1943 Philadelphias weren't wrapped in Batdorf wrappers for the most part. And the paper that these are wrapped in is the red and white stripe paper, so it's a relatively new wrapping. So I don't expect much from these. So they're going to be I guess we're live again. I hope we're live again. So the 43s are going to be rather inexpensive to get into for a 50 coin roll. Picked up a 1944 roll, nice one. I've picked up some other things I can't really remember right now. Picked up a number of modern wheat rolls, 1955 to 58. Hello, Maddie. The one that I never met, right? Slept down the hall from her, never saw her, not even once. Let's see. What else did we get to do? I picked up a new county on my counties visited. We went to, what is the name of the county? Menard County, Illinois. Brand new county, had never been there before. So now on my list out of 3,000 some odd, like 3,300 different counties in the United States, I've now been to about 1,900 of them. Yes, I am an extreme nerd, but how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? Hola, coins and ghouls. ¿Qué pasó today? Oh yeah, that was something. I got to use my Spanish this morning. I don't use my Spanish very often unless I'm ordering from a taco truck. But this morning, the guy in front of me in line didn't understand how to tell the lady he wanted $32 worth of gas. And he was trying to tell her that he wanted to turn the pump on. And she was asking him for how much, and he said yes. And she was like, no, how much? He said yes. And so he kind of looked around a little bit and then asked her, speak Spanish? And she said no. And so I asked him how much he needed, and he said, $32. So I told her $32. And so he paid for it and left, and I kind of felt like I had done my little duty for the day, was able to help somebody translating. That's probably the first time I've translated in Spanish. It's been a long time. I don't use it enough to even remember it, which was kind of obvious. I know I was using the wrong words, but we got the communication through anyway, which just encourages me to go get Babelfish or something and learn how to speak Spanish fluently so I can help people at the gas station. I think I could probably help a lot more in, say, like German or Arabic or Turkish or Greek, but Spanish I've just forgotten so much of. Let's see, what else have I done? Not a whole lot. I learned a lot about Illinois license plates. One of the things I learned about Illinois license plates was that from 1943 until 1948, they did not make license plates out of metal in the state of Illinois. They made license plates out of fiberboard, and the 1943 plates were actually made of soybean fiberboard. And then in 1944, they moved over to just a regular fiberboard stuff. And then they didn't go back to metal plates until 1949. And I had the opportunity to make a purchase of a pair of 1968 license plates that I will add to my 1968 set, my birth year set, now 55 years old. Officially today, 55 years old. And so now I have, let's see, I have Texas, I have Maryland, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Kansas, and North Carolina. I think that's all. I think that's all I have so far. I picked up Indiana and Illinois on this trip. I got a Kansas in the mail like 5 days before I left for the trip. I still don't have my home state, Missouri. So I shall be looking for a 1968 license plate while I'm here. I don't know how long I was talking before I didn't. Oh, I would love to have Washington State license plates. That would be really cool. I have begun the process of, somebody tell me you can hear me so I know I'm not talking to myself. But I have begun the process of actually purchasing or acquiring every license plate that I can get my hand on that I get a good deal on, so I can turn those into a swap trade profit for 1968 license plates, so I can get those for my collection. I picked up a few Illinois plates while I was here from a neighbor. Okay, thank you. And picked those up and tried to, I've got them here in the car, and I'm going to take them back home with me. Picked up a bunch of plates. Actually, Mickey picked up a bunch of plates for me from a guy in Wilmington, North Carolina, about a week before I left. I'll see those next week. And then next weekend, I will be joining a new friend of mine going to Maryland for the weekend, and we're going to go to a license plate swap meet in Maryland. So that will be interesting. That'll be my first license plate show, like a coin show. And so my first coin show was when I was about 12 years old. There we go. Hopefully I'm climbing a pretty big hill right now. So we're kind of man's land in the middle of Mark Twain National Forest in southeastern Missouri, nearing south central Missouri actually. I can see a cell tower, but that means nothing here. So here, let me see if there we go. That's how we swap camera. There's big hill. You see a cell tower up there on the next hill. Doesn't mean much of anything though. It just means that I can see a cell tower. Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean we're gonna stay alive. But this is where I am. There's the sign, Highway 60. And so, put you back on the mirror. I have a magnet that holds my phone in place. That's really cool. I need to find something like that at home so I can do my whatnots. And Adam, Coins and Ghouls, has a nifty little stand that he uses, and I'm going to ask him how to obtain one of those, because I would like to obtain one of those and maybe use it for my whatnot auctions. I did not realize, I guess I did realize, but I didn't really think through the process that you can actually use a phone the entire time all the way through and nothing else on whatnot. And I have always managed to broadcast using a phone for my camera, but I use a computer for the chat and everything, because I am so afraid that I won't be able to see what's going on if I'm using a phone. You just left St. Louis. You've been over by Mark Twain Forest. Yeah, it is a beautiful area. For those of you who have Google Maps accessible, I just entered Fremont, Missouri, which is a town of very, very few. Less than 100, I would think. Hello, Taco John. Good evening, sir. Good day. Good afternoon. Is it afternoon? It is afternoon. It's 3:25 in the afternoon, Central Time. I did change the clock on my vehicle. I am very anal about that. As soon as I changed the time zone, I changed the hour on my clock. So now when I call my dad, or if I call Eric, or if I call my wife, I have to realize that I'm an hour earlier than normal. Let's see. Show highlights. Some of the show highlights. Let's see. Show highlights. Let me think. 1909S, RPM number 1. 1909S, RPM number 1. And that was like a very fine coin. Find a very fine coin. I picked that up. Got some minor RPMs. I got there is a Whitman Classic folder. There was a blank folder with blank cent pages in it that a gentleman spent a lot of time pulling oddity coins out of bags and putting them in this book and writing down inside the cover what was there. And that was just amazing. Stop at Uranus, Missouri and get some fudge. Yeah, that would be nice, but being diabetic, I don't think fudge is exactly the right thing for me to be doing right now. I don't even know where Uranus is. Ha 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 ha. I don't know where Uranus, Missouri is. I don't know if that's on I-44. That's not where I am. I'm probably a good 125, 150 miles south of I-44. Probably not far from Stanton or Cuba, Missouri. Along I-44, go straight south about 100, 150 miles, and you'll see me. Let's see. Another show highlight. Let's see if there's another show highlight. Adam picked up a nice roll of 1943s at the show. Got them good and cheap, too. Also picked up a few double dice. He showed me a 56 proof DDO number 1. Oh, it's near St. Robert or Fort Leonard. Okay, I'm on the wrong highway for that. I'm actually only about 20, 30 miles from the Arkansas border. I'm in far southern Missouri. Let's see. What else did Adam pick up? Adam picked up a few nice coins, really nice coins that I was able to see. It was interesting being in his auction, his what on Thursday. He can tell us when it's going to be occurring this week, but I was actually in the auction watching while I was sitting by him, watching what he was doing, so I could watch him and his actions while he was in the auction to kind of acclimate myself to the idea of using only a cell phone to run the auction. But at the same time he was going through these lots, I was seeing things that I wanted, so I was bidding too. So I know that if I'm in there bidding on a show that Adam's running, then you guys would be bidding too, because he had some really excellent deals, really excellent stuff. I'm actually thinking about trying to kind of conjunction with Adam, going both ways, both before and both after his show, so that we can do a raid, or he can do a raid, and we can bring all of our watchers over to each other's show. That would be really cool. I know there are things that you can do that are interesting and fun with whatnot that we haven't really dove into quite yet. Hello, Sissy. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be. It's probably afternoon no matter where you are, because it's even afternoon in California now. And thank you. You've always wanted to stop in Uranus one of these days. Well, I guess one day, if you don't get there first, I might be able to stop in Uranus for you. How about that? Joseph. So, either way you make sure I video it, a video going into Uranus, I can do that. I don't know whether or not YouTube would allow me to broadcast a show talking about going into Uranus, but maybe sometime when I've drank too much. That could have been last night. We stopped at the store and I bought a 6-pack of a certain adult beverage that was very tasty, and proceeded to drink 3 or 4 of them. I don't remember. By the time I was done, I was rather loopy, and it was about time for bed. And I was going through a box of pocket change pennies with Robbie, just sitting there shooting the breeze, going through coins with our loops. And I near fell asleep. I was like, dude, I'm not up much anymore. I need to lay down, or I'm going to be laying down involuntarily. Well, it is true. If it's live, there's not much they can do. They can go in and shut you down, though, I think. But I doubt they would do that. I don't know, these days the persnicketyness of the channels on YouTube and what they do on Marketplace on Facebook is kind of ridiculous. Of course, I don't know if everyone here knows, but most probably should know that it's against the terms of service of Facebook to sell coins on Facebook. So one of the things you can't post, or that you're not supposed to be able to post on Facebook, are coins for sale. And we passed through Uranus last week. Holy moly, you were in Missouri. Probably went through Springfield, which is where I'm heading. But another thing I found out recently that you're not allowed to sell on Marketplace is license plates. I had no idea there was anything wrong with selling old license plates on Facebook. So I went on the Marketplace and I posted a big picture that had a whole bunch of license plates in it for gathering attention, and I put that I would like to make offers on any boxes of license plates that you may have in your garage or otherwise, that you were otherwise going to throw away, or you're just hanging on to them for no good reason, or whatever. However, I would be willing to make offers on them. And I posted that in Marketplace, and within 10 minutes it was shut down. And they they shut it down and warned me that I may lose, or that I am risking the loss of my privileges of using Marketplace, which I thought was just a total joke. Oh, Frostbite. Good day, sir. Frostbite's got family in Springfield. How about that? Springfield, Missouri, that is. I was just in Springfield, Illinois yesterday, or day before yesterday. So now I'm going to Springfield, Missouri. I passed through Springfield, Tennessee. What was that? Tuesday, when I came through. Springfield, Tennessee is up by, it's north of Nashville along I-24. And let's see, I'm 119 miles from Springfield right now. 36 to Willow Springs, and 8 miles to Birch Tree. Let's see. I've been to Springfield, Florida, but not on this trip. Springfield, Florida is a small area of Panama City. I've been through Springfield, Massachusetts. That's all I can think of at the moment. So I heard a gentleman tell me, and I believe him without having to look it up. Does anybody know the name of a town that exists in all 50 states? All 50 states, and it's not Springfield. There's not a Springfield in all 50 states. You would think there is, but this name is used for a town in every state. You can tell me what it is. Nope, not Louisville. Actually, Louisville, there's not a whole lot of them. Let's see. Not Madison. Come on, sis. Let's see, my temperature still says it's 80 degrees outside, and I know that's wrong. It is not 80 degrees out there. It's hazy and hot. Got to drive through a storm. I was going to post something about it on Facebook and decided just, whatever. It's just a storm. But we got to head off a storm coming back from St. Louis on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, we stopped to have lunch in O'Fallon, Missouri. O'Fallon, Illinois. Stopped in O'Fallon, Illinois to have, we got a rack of ribs at a place called Sugar Fire. I'll stop you if we run into the town name that I'm thinking of. I'll stop you. Cajun already had what? Springfield? It's not Springfield. It's not Jackson. Not Jackson, not Springfield. And we had a rack of ribs at a place called Sugar Fire. It's a nice barbecue joint. It was very good. It was very tasty. Very good ribs. Very slow cooked. Falling off the bone. Tasty. Then we got back in the car and we headed southeast toward Marion. And when we got to Pinckneyville, we stopped because I wanted to visit with Robbie's mom for a little while. Just wanted to stop in and say hi to her. And we did. And by the time we got out and started heading on south, the storm was catching up to us. And it was a big one. It's not Greenfield. But we're on our way, and the storm caught up to us. And as the storm caught up to us, we continued to run from it. And we were jogging down. We're running down farm roads, basically, just little thin farm roads at 60 miles an hour to try to get ahead of the storm. When we got to Marion, we went to the coin shop because we had to unload our inventory. We got to the coin shop, and we barely had time to carry a few of the essentials inside before the storm hit. And when the storm hit, it hit with a passion. It was 50 to 60 mile an hour sustained winds with gusts up to 75, 80. And I'll let you know that Brian Allen lives in the town with, or in the city with this name in South Carolina. So if you know basically where Brian Allen lives and works, you'll have it. There is evidently one of them in all 50 states. And I'm told it's not Greenville. I'm sorry, Greenfield. I just gave it away though. It's Greenville. There's a Greenville in every state. I went to Greenville, Illinois on my trip. I've been to Greenville, South Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina, but I don't know what other Greenvilles I've been to. But if someone can look it up and give me a thumbs up on whether or not Greenville is the name that exists in all 50 states, I was told by a guy who knows how many counties are in every state that Greenville exists in all 50 states, but it's Greenville. And I don't know that for certain. All I know is that Terry told me so. And Terry told me so on a number of things that when Terry told me so and I turned around and tested him, he was right on every question I tested him on. Like which state has the most counties? Which state has the fewest counties? Which states don't have counties? How many counties are in Illinois? How many counties are in Florida? How many counties are in Oklahoma? He knew the answers to all of those. Only 36 have Greenville. Well, evidently one of two things. Either there are Greenvilles that are too small to be counted as cities, or he was incorrect. Paul Mecki from Egypt. Egypt as in Middle East Egypt? That would be interesting. What is it like? Late night there, isn't it? Is that close to midnight? You have to search for, yeah, town, not city. There's probably even little villages of 400 people called Greenville here and there. As one thing I know is if you really search hard, you can find two different liberties in the state of Missouri. There's the Liberty everybody knows over by Kansas City, and then there's another town called Liberty over by St. Louis. All just been living to die a horrible way one day. I guess dying a horrible way is the way I'm gonna go. Somebody took care of that. Thank you. Can't find one in Washington. No Greenville in Washington. You would think there would be. There's a lot of green in Washington because there's a lot of rain in Washington. It's not a very big state. I've been there. I've been to 49 out of 50 of the states. The only state that I've not been to was our last state, Hawaii. Because it is so far separated from all the other states, I've not been to it. I've been in and out of Alaska by plane, but never driving. I've never driven through Canada to Alaska. Thank you, Adam, for timing out whoever Gold was. No idea, but I've had it with the Doomsday Preppers for this week. It was fun, excited about doing so, but the reason he sold all of his silver is because there were some guys who had been hearing one of their far-right wing, I guess, what do you call them, journalists, media sources, talking about how tonight there was going to be an attempt to overthrow the deep state and return us back to civil law or whatever. I just kind of listen to that kind of stuff with one ear, and usually it doesn't even make it all the way to my brain. Frostbite's been to 47 of the 50. What three have you not been to, Frostbite? Let me guess. Alaska, Hawaii, and maybe Maine? Shades of brown in eastern Washington? Yes. Alright, we're back. I had to go without for a little while. I hope everybody stuck around and waited. Looks like I got 15 people.